Did you say that cheerleader was making headlines, the one we already did the story on?
Mm-hmm.
A high school cheerleader in Michigan is being investigated by police officers after allegedly giving out pop brownies in exchange for homecoming queen votes. Finally, someone who can get young people out to the polls. Pop brownies. Never mind the marijuana, she had me at brownies.
James Corden last night on CBS. Yes, that story is available if you go to thatpodcastilike.com. Welcome back, the Friday edition of the show. And a lot to get into today. Several things happening around the country. What you need to know about, let's jump into it.
Let's find out. One.
Might be a good idea to keep a closer eye on those drug trials they need participants for. In late August, a company called Compass Pathways announced that the FDA had given them the green light to test psilocybin for depression.
Now, do you know the history of this drug in America?
Well, that's magic mushrooms to you and me, and maybe a little bit.
It goes back 61 years, 1957, when Life magazine did an article about the study of this drug with Dr. Timothy Leary, the guy who made acid really popular in America.
Your tissue cells do not speak English. They have been designed by a 2 billion year process of trial and error to receive, decode, and send out a language which is chemical.
That is Dr. Timothy Leary. I've listened to some of his recordings before, and again, he did a lot of research on the chemical use of acid, but also now natural magic mushrooms. They are looking into making that a prescription drug.
They've already started the trials, actually. 216 patients in 12 to 15 different sites in Europe and North America are being tested.
I would imagine there's probably more places that are testing magic mushrooms. They're just not officially under the umbrella of the test.
Well, if the Marvel Universe has taught me anything, there's an evil genius behind the testing of all new drugs. You want to guess who's behind this one? Early Facebook investor, PayPal co-founder, and destroyer of Gawker, Peter Thiel.
Oh, that is the guy also who worked with Hulk Hogan, like you said, to take down Gawker. Right. I am just waiting for him to get together with doctors when they start prescribing marijuana for bulimia or even cocaine for narcolepsy. Then maybe we'll take up the study. Speaking of the medical field.
People are concerned about a new strip club going in San Antonio, Texas, called the Emergency Room.
This makes me laugh. Now they've had the cardiac cafe or something like that where the waitresses all dressed up like nurses. There was a place like that where guys could come in and they would actually wear a hospital gown. They were made giant burgers and the girls dressed up, the waitresses, like sexy nurses.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Now that was cardiac cafe. They didn't call it the emergency rooms. They're afraid that people are going to get confused if they're sick or injured and end up at the strip club.
Marketing wise, I think it's super smart, but it's also the most strip clubby move of all time.
You usually end up sick or injured after being at the strip club, not on your way there. Why do guys have this obsession with women dressed in the medical thing? You think Halloween's around the corner? Sexy nurses. I talked about the cardiac cafe. Guys like sexy nurses there. I don't find anything sexy about a woman who might give me a shot or any type of probe. Probes are never a good thing. No. You never get a call from the hospital like, hey, congratulations, we're going to be doing a probe on you. People fear the probe. There's nothing good about a probe.
We'll stick the probe even deeper inside when Inside Probe returns.
Listen, the Senate does background probes. You get in trouble with the law, what happens? Probations. No, it's not good.
Well, they're working 100% within the constraints of the law, but people aren't happy about the decision making. Totally a strip club move.
Listen, my mom, and this is a true story, when I was a kid, got confused by signage when I was in an emergency room. I had fallen off the side of a mountain in a ski club accident. This is true.
Okay.
And they had to take me off the mountain to an emergency room. They called my parents who were an hour away. Now, I lied in that hospital bed for about 5 or 6 hours wondering where my parents were and afraid that maybe they were in an accident. This is winter. This is Pennsylvania. I don't know what's happening. No, my mom followed the signs, and this was before GPS, for a little guy lying in a bed, not the blue H. She ended up at a hotel, not a hospital. So maybe I can get with the citizens of San Antonio and say you might have a good idea here. Finally, we go back
Down to Florida. We welcome you to the Sunshine State.
It's been a while.
They're kicking back and soaking up the rays every day in Florida.
If that's all they did, they wouldn't come up in the news as much as they do. Back down to Florida we go.
There's a time and a place for everything, and a Florida liquor store is almost never the right place to try and reenact a scene from Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
According to a police report, that's exactly what two women chose to do in a Port St. Lucie liquor store. They don't say what scene in the police report, but I can only imagine it was that famous lift scene with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey.
Oh, yeah, right at the end where he pulls her up, goes on stage.
Sorry about the disruption, folks. But I always do the last dance of the season.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went. All right, on that note, we are going to get out of here. Be sure to check out this. See, Patrick Swayze doing the dance. All you have to do is make sure you've got black t-shirt, black jeans. For 15 years, you were covered for Patrick Swayze's wardrobe. It is Friday. Make sure you check out My Daily Beer. Now, later today, we have a milkshake IPA. Very interesting.
Comes from Odell's.
Odell's Milkshake IPA. We'll be doing that later today on My Daily Beer. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll do this one again Monday. You know we love you.
We'll stick the probe even deeper inside when Inside Probe returns.